We're in an ongoing series on the ingredients that make up great leaders. Over the last few sessions, we have been talking about the characteristic of trust. Great leaders earn the trust of others. One of the most important things we talked about is what I like to call the trust account. Basically, we have a trust account with everybody we interact with. And just like a bank account, we make deposits or withdrawals in these accounts. Now, I want to finish up our discussion on trust by talking about the most important trust account we interact with on a regular basis. That is the trust account with ourselves. You see, this is the most important trust account we manage on a regular basis because when we make deposits in it, we build confidence and trust in ourselves. But when we make withdrawals, we aid to insecurity and self-doubt. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, says that the power to make and keep commitments with ourselves is the essence of developing the habit of effectiveness. You see, the currency of our personal trust account, it's commitments. When we keep commitments that we make with ourselves, man, we build confidence, and that confidence spills over into other areas. However, when we make withdrawals, it aids that insecurity, and we start becoming insecure and having self-doubt in other areas. Let me illustrate this by something that has happened to me in the past. Now, for those who know me, I am not a morning person. In fact, the way my morning routine is, I have 2 hours from when I wake up to when I actually start interacting with other people. I work out, have coffee, and read because I am not a morning person. And so for years, I have struggled with getting up at 6 a.m. I can't tell you how many times I have sat there frustrated because I hit the snooze button on my alarm and didn't wake up until 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Now, many of you are thinking, what's the big deal? You woke up 30 minutes to an hour earlier. It's nothing that's that major. And you're right, in itself, it's not, but it goes back to keeping a commitment with myself. You see, every time I don't wake up at 6 a.m., I am making a withdrawal in my personal trust account. Doing it once, not a big deal. Doing it over time, I start having self-doubt in other areas of my life. There's this little voice in my head that says, if you can't even get up on time, how can other people follow you and you lead them? Maybe you've been there and heard that voice. However, on the opposite side, and this is the power, as Stephen Covey was talking about when it comes to keeping commitments. When I do wake up at 6 a.m. and I do keep that commitment, over time, that confidence spills over into the other areas, just like our leadership. So what we need to do is we need to look at every commitment that we make with ourselves, and we need to decide, are we going to delete that commitment? Are we going to modify that commitment? Or are we going to have the habits and discipline to actually keep that commitment? So if you find yourself, like for me, when it was 6 a.m., trying to wake up, that you're not keeping that commitment consistently, you need to review that commitment. Do you need to delete it because it's not a big deal? Which in my case, I needed to keep it because it's waking up on time. Or do you need to modify it? Maybe I need to wake up at 6:30 or 7 because it just doesn't fit with the schedule. Or do I need to force myself to keep it? So here's our game plan for this week. I want you to look introspectively, and this is going to be hard. I want you to look inside of you, and I want you to see the areas where you doubt yourself. The areas where you don't think you have what it takes to be a leader and for other people to follow you. Okay? You might need to have someone you really trust, like a spouse or a close friend, to help you process through this. And I want you to be specific. I don't want you to say, I'm not good enough. I want you to look specifically at why you don't think you're good enough to lead other people. And then I want you to look at the commitments you're not keeping with yourself. It could be waking up on time. It could be that you want to read a couple pages in a book every day. You're not doing that. Whatever those commitments are, you're not keeping. Look at them. And then you need to review them and either delete them, modify them, or have habits and disciplines in place to keep them. You will be amazed at what happens when you start keeping those commitments. It will spill over into other areas of your life. It will help minimize the self-doubt and build confidence. The reason why is it's hard to earn trust with others when we don't trust ourselves. But, and this is our tweetable lesson that I'm going to leave you with, when we trust ourselves, it's easier to earn the trust of others.